Hey everybody, in this video we're going to go over some additional indicators that you can add to your toolkit. So after you've done your trend analysis and you've used your CT moving average crossover indicator, you can use these to get maybe a second or third opinion. So let's go ahead and look at Bitcoin on the one-day chart, and let's go ahead and add the MACD indicator. So I'm going to click on indicators, I'm going to type in MACD, and I'm going to click on this one right here. Okay, so the MACD is really good at spotting trends, and it works really good in uptrends and downtrends. When it goes sideways, it kind of has some problems. We need to add another indicator to assist it. So let's go ahead and add an EMA indicator to this. So I'm gonna go to the search bar and indicators and type in EMA, and I got a moving average indicator here. I'm gonna hover over it. I'm going to click on the cogwheel, and I'm gonna just adjust the settings. Let's go ahead and change this 200 simple moving average to a 200 exponential moving average. And why not? I'll just go ahead and save that for now. Okay, so the MACD has 4 essential components. We have the blue line, which represents the MACD line. We have the orange line that represents the signal line. We have our histogram, which are these orange bars and green bars. And we have our zero line, which represents the middle. And of course, we've added our 200 exponential moving average line on top of this. So normally when the blue line crosses upwards over the orange line and these lines are below the zero line, it's a good time to long. However, why did that signal not work here? Because the overall macro is going sideways. So how do we protect ourselves from that false signal? We've got our 200 exponential moving average line here. How do we know it's not a legit signal? Because price is currently below the 200 exponential moving average. We're waiting to see for price action to get above the 200 exponential moving average before we can get a legit signal of these crossovers. So let's go ahead and zoom in and see when the signal becomes legit. And we can see here that the blue line crosses upwards over the orange line and price is above the 200 exponential moving average. That is a fantastic signal to get in and long the market. Once again, the blue line is below the zero line. It crosses upward over the orange line and price is above the 200 exponential moving average. Another signal to long. Okay, so now the blue line is crossing down below the orange line. Normally, we would want to short the market, right? Well, I thought we said that if price was still above the 200 exponential moving average, that we wouldn't want to short the market. Bitcoin dropped from 73 grand down to 62,000 bucks. You could have made some money shorting, right? Well, I guess here the only thing that would really help us out is to just start looking at the histogram to see where the momentum is going, right? That is a big bulge of green, and it had a lot of momentum here at the zero line, and this is where the histogram can help out a little bit. So this is just an example of where you just can't blindly follow the indicators, right? You need to sometimes get a second or third opinion, and that's pretty much how the MACD works, you guys. It's a very powerful tool to help you identify a trend going up or down. And it sucks when the market's going sideways for the most part. By the way, everything you're watching right now is part of my crypto investor toolkit, and I decided to put the entire thing on YouTube for free because it's exactly what I wish I had when I first started in this space. Now, if you want to go deeper, I've also built the advanced modules. That includes my full altcoin list where I break down every category of the hottest layer ones, decentralized finance, the AI coins, the memes, and all of that. Plus, I provide 100 target levels for all of those things using Fibonacci levels, adoption curves, ChatGPT backtesting, and much more. Plus, we've also created some amazing Bitcoin price prediction modules that you guys are going to be able to reuse every single cycle, even though Bitcoin is going to constantly be evolving every 4 years. Now, you guys have seen other people's Bitcoin price predictions before, but the one that we have is so meticulous in advance, and we've used so many different methods for calculating it. I think you guys are going to be blown away when you see that there's nothing else like this on YouTube. There's nothing else like this on Twitter. It's kind of curated information over years of work, and you know, it's something that we're really proud of. And I think once you guys see it, you're going to see how much it stands out compared to other Bitcoin price prediction methods. Links below if you want in. Now let's get back to the video. So let's go ahead and move on to another indicator that you can add to your toolkit, and that's the squeeze momentum indicator. I'm going to go ahead and click on indicators. I'm going to type in squeeze. We want the squeeze momentum indicator by Lazy Bear, so click on that. And this is just like a dumbed down second class version of the MACD. It's just a big histogram and just less information overload. However, it's not as detailed. And you just pretty much see that, when you've got the red histogram intersecting at the 0 line, you can see that usually there is some significant price action when the histogram intersects at the 0 line. The larger the histogram gets, the more the momentum increases, and sometimes there are little fake outs here, right? So the squeeze momentum indicator is just another indicator you can add to your arsenal to help give you another opinion on what you think might happen in the market. Now, before we wrap up this video, let's go ahead and just add one more indicator in case we need just something for a fifth opinion, maybe some fine tuning. So let's talk about using the Stochastic RSI. So let's click indicators and just type in STOCH. And there we go, Stochastic RSI, just click on that. So the more that you guys look at your charts with whatever indicators you have up, you'll start to see patterns in these charts. And for example, right now I'm looking at the Bitcoin all-time history index on the 1-day time frame. And you can see that usually when Bitcoin gets overheated over this dotted line, that for the most part, it's a good time to sell, right? And when it's deep underneath the dotted line, it's a good time to buy. These are just patterns that you guys are going to get used to spotting, and you're going to be combining them with technical analysis. You'll be drawing lines all over the place, and you'll just play around with that to find support and resistance levels and major pivot points. For example, Bitcoin lost support right here. It had a choice to continue upward or downward. And right now, as of 4th of July, Bitcoin's taken a nice little dump. Bitcoin could end up bottoming around 47,000. Bitcoin could end up bottoming around 52,000, go sideways for a little bit and then take off. So whatever bottom Bitcoin's gonna make as of this video of July 4th, most of the retail market is going to be scared out of it because this capitulation was timed like clockwork, perfectly, so that when everybody was on vacation on the 4th of July, they look at their phones, they look at Bitcoin, they're chatting with their friends about crypto, and the news is bad news, right? They want to make sure that retail is not buying this dip, and they're going to be the ones that buy Bitcoin and Ethereum on sale. All right, guys, well, that's a wrap for this video covering some additional indicators that you can add to your toolkit. Remember, use these indicators after you've already done your technical analysis of drawing your trend lines and your support and resistance, and maybe after getting another opinion from your daily market updates from your crypto experts like Michael Pizzino or Eric Crown, for example. I hope that helps. I'll see you guys in the next one. When I first got into crypto in 2017, it would have been a game changer had somebody provided me a free course like this. But the difference between surviving and actually winning in this market is knowing when to enter and when to exit. That's exactly why I built the Advanced Toolkit, which you can get at cryptoinvestortoolkit.com. Inside, you'll get my full altcoin list broken down by sectors like AI, layer 1s, layer 2s, decentralized finance, and complete with 100 price targets so you know where to take profit. You'll also get the Bitcoin price prediction system. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but once you dive into this system, you're going to be blown away once you see how much energy we put into it and how many methods we put it through. It's the most meticulous Bitcoin price prediction analysis ever. And as Bitcoin continues to evolve, you'll be able to apply this to every Bitcoin cycle moving forward. This is going to help people know when Bitcoin is overheated, and it's also going to let them know when it's oversold. So if you don't want to be left guessing when to sell, grab the Advanced Toolkit by clicking the link in the description below. Otherwise, click here to watch the next video.